so let's get started here on donning the purple. The designer did get an opportunity, which is awesome, in terms of me delaying actually playing. Whatever, sometimes there's an advantage to me being slow, right? To get back to me about the one issue, and there's probably a question online about it or whatever, but regarding the strength for moving through, actually, if the strength allows it, a pawn can move through several provinces. Yeah, that's true, but it's also true that the card only works for one battle. And the example didn't really clarify. Both statements can be true without nailing down what was intended, but I think this is actually the only way you can read it that is completely in compliance with the rules as written anyway, so I don't know why I ended up where I did. All right, so let's get started, and first we get our enemies, and in this case, in each province, we're going to be looking at, in each region, we're going to be looking at a province that'll have up to 2 enemies, I believe. Right? 2 enemies, yeah. And I'll just grab, uh-oh. These are all the special dice. There's one regular die. I thought there were 3. All right, so let's start over here in Gaul, and we get in Province 2. That is Hispania. Those can't be placed because there are red legions, so they just don't show up. And it would be actually an advantage defending the empire to spread your forces out, it looks like. Over here into the Balkans, you get a 5. Okay. Something arises in Macedonia. Hard to tell what that is. Rebellions of that nature are kind of rare, so this isn't like, in this period at least, this isn't showing something like, you know, advances coming from the barbarian side or whatever. Macedonia was pretty clearly deep within Roman territory, so that feels a little odd. It could be, though, legionary forces, you know, not a rebellion per se. There were cases where you'd have legions. Cappadocia, I can live with that a little bit easier. The East had more of a, I don't know, that's pretty far inside too, I guess. But we get some down here in Mauritania, which is, again, there's no barbarians coming in over here in this era. So I think what we're beginning to see is, I think this is going to be representing things like non-player claimants or something along that line. That's the only way I can really justify this. Harvest grain. None of the grain got stomped on. So that means we're going to be getting 6 plus 4 3s is 18 grain. And we can represent that a number of ways, but we're going to need 3. Wow, this is a number. Let's see, at 19 we'd be in trouble. We actually would not have enough counters to represent 19 grain. 19 grain may not be possible, but okay. We'll see. There might be cards that do it. Okay, now we're going to be getting 5 cards from the event deck for Rome. Right, and then we get a forum card that'll be put up as a space on the board. So let's draw these. Doesn't feel like we've done anything yet, and we haven't gotten to player actions yet. This is just setting the stage. So there's my 5 events. Let's see what we get. First one, grain import price increases. Move this up a space. So grain's going to be more expensive. And I got to come up with like 25 grains. So, you know, that's actually a big deal. I may not be able to afford all the grain I need. But There's 3 areas that are there. Let me make sure. 6 times 4 is 24, 25 grain. Yeah, so that I'm not going to be able to feed everything because I've got 25 minus 3 areas puts me to 22. I've only got 19. That means I have to buy 3 grain. That's going to cost me 9. I barely have enough money. That means I can't use money for anything. But we'll see. We'll see what the ordering is here. Approaching enemies. Oh, shit. Let's pretend we didn't do that. I forgot to do something. Okay, the incoming enemies, now they all move 1 province closer to their regional capital. Okay, so here moves into Africa. Here would move into here, but they can't because that's equivalent. So they're just stuck where they are. Here, 4 goes down to 3, and we might be destroying things as we're going. And those are the 3 armies that I did. Okay, now we go back to where we were and the things we did. We did this one. This one, approaching enemies. Roll the black die to decide a province number in region 1 and 4. Place 2 armies in that province with that number. And then move all the armies in region 1 and 4 closer to their regional capital. Okay, so I guess we roll a single die for this. It's going to be province 5. And let's get some armies. What is region 1? Region 1's over here. So on the 5, 5 is going to show up here. And then in region 1, we'll just do this to begin with. This will move closer from 5 down to 4 into Gallia. Now, Gallia is the farm. That's a problem. That means if those troops are still there next turn, they're not going to produce grain. And then region 4 is down here. That would be a 5. That would hit Egypt. That doesn't actually materialize because there's troops there. However, these guys continue their march on Egypt. And that takes that. A little bit of chaos happening. Horde of enemies. Roll a d4 to determine the region. Place 1 in each province of the region. Ooh. So this is nasty. Now this hordes of enemies, this looks like a generalized revolt. The problem is these things can't become players. That's a 4. So we find region 4, which is this one. And we're going to get 1 in each area. Now that's not going to show up in Egypt again because there are troops there. This force gets bigger. And region 4 is looking ugly. No troops moved though. Approaching enemies. Roll a die to decide a province. Okay, and this will be in regions 1 and 2. And it's the same as the thing we did last time. So the province is 3. You can see problems are starting to accrue. And then over in 2, you have forces there too. Now, here's the thing. These cannot combine to attack this. But this can move forward. Well, these would have to move forward anyway. They always follow the sequence. So let's take a look what happens in regions 1 and 2. Well, first 3 gets to go. It can't enter yet, but 4 then pushes into here. Oh, look, we cleared up the grain. And likewise here, first 3 goes, and then 5 isn't going to go forward. And then the final card, production sabotage. The first and last buildings on the production track will swap places. If there are less than 2 buildings on there, all players except the Emperor can place a building for free. Okay, what is the order of this? I believe it's going to be sequential after the Emperor. Let me just check that. Oh, crapola. I forgot to do these things. Let me get a cup and randomize. Well, I can randomize these differently. There are 5 of them. I've got a 10-sided die kicking around somewhere. All right. So 1 through 5 will be the front side. 6 through 10 will be the back side. Okay, so 1, whatever this is, I don't know what it is, we'll look it up, is going to be at the end of this here. So far we haven't gotten to make any decisions, so that's okay. We'll go 1 through 8, 4, 5, this one, that's going to be, I think this is up the price of the grain, but I'm not sure. It's hard to tell because there's no real clear which side is up and which side is down, but that looks like it's the way it goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, can't use the die roll. Let's use a 6-sider for this now. That'll be the back side of this. That's going to be, it looks like legions, but I don't think it is. And this is going to be 1 through 4, I guess. Which will be this, and that looks like something with happiness. I'll put this one aside. It's not in play. Let's see what is likely to happen. So the Emperor, at the end of this turn, I'll be losing a stamina. Grain price, I'll be going up. This is going to be additional event cards, which happen at the end of the turn. And then this looks like it's going to be -2 happiness. All right. I wish I had a little marker for that, and I think I'm going to take a cube or something and just keep track of where I am on the sequence. I'm on the player actions. Great. Okay, at this point, I have to start considering my cards too. But we didn't do our builds. So what are we allowed to do? It says we're allowed to put a building for free. Well, monuments are more expensive than these estates. So much as I'd like to create money, I think both players are just going to slap monuments down because they get, these permanent advantages. Now, some of the advantages may be less valuable than others. It's hard for me to memorize all this stuff. Iconography does not work terribly well for me. So the +1 to the die, that's going to be every roll when he assassinates is what he's going to be getting, is +2 to the assassination die roll. So he's going to get better at assassination. This is, I think he gets them immediately. I think he just gets 2 extra plot cards, which sounds kind of crappy to me. See if we can find them. Can't find it. There we go. Yeah, it's an immediate draw of 2 plot cards. These are not aligned by any kind of color or anything. So basically you have 3 different player mats and they have different things on them. And those things are explained without any kind of indication, hey, this is, this is the air player card that has these abilities on it, and not that he stays the air. Okay. So now let's take a look at the player actions. These go away. These are events. Yep, haven't done the form. So we got to reveal a form card. Okay. So for the rest of the game, you get +1 strength and +1 movement for each stamina you throw into this. That could be pretty good. It doesn't say what you are. I'm assuming that's just your player pawn. These should all be in Rome, I think, at the beginning of the game. Let me make sure of a couple of things. It goes first, and he has the most complicated turn of all. One of the things he has to worry about is his grain production. Right now, I've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 enemies on the board. So all I actually need is 16 grain to feed things, which is pretty cool. That means I'm not going to need to spend money at the inflated price. But what do I want to do with the enemy, or with the Emperor? One thing I would like to do is improve happiness, and The Emperor has the ability to choose air. He can't do that. He can move his legions. I have enough legions in a space like this that I can move, destroy this, and go cover Egypt again. Make sure that good grain source is still there, in case I make it through the turn. I can build more forces. I can build an aqueduct. That's a useful thing. Of course, that fills up the chart here. And I'm not sure I want to be doing that right now, simply because... geez, when did the... Oh, somewhere or another there was a famine. Yep, I forgot the initial famine. Okay. So region 4 is in famine. This is a problem. So that means I actually have 6 less grain than listed. I only have 12. And that means I will have to create grain. I'm not going to get additional grain at this point if I build the aqueduct. But maybe I need to. Well, my money situation. How much grain did I say I needed? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 areas. That means 16 grain I need. 12. I need to buy 4 grain. They're $3 each. I don't have the money. Taxes come after I distribute the food. Well, we got problems. And let's see what they're going to be. This, I don't think, affects the legionary movement. I think it only affects your pawn movement. Again, things aren't always... I do have plot cards. Well, let's see what we want to do. First of all, our hidden agenda is we want to get monuments and 2 senators. Okay. So building monuments seems like an important facet. I could drop the grain cost down. That's useful. I can move the H to my player card free of charge. That seems very useful. I like these 2 plot cards. They can be kind of played at any time, but like this one, if the Emperor's dead, I don't think I can rearrange it. There is a special rule somewhere about the plot card timing that I think may have actually covered that. Death of the... plot cards. When a player's turn is order, he always draws one. They're free to use at any time. That at any time is painful. Can I grab the air just as the Emperor's dying? I seem to remember there was something that caused a problem with that, but that's how I'm going to hold this. I'm going to leave my cards face up because it helps me understand what's going on with the players. Normally you would play these hidden. The grain price, I definitely want to lower that, which means I'm only going to be paying 2 per grain. So what was I saying? I need like 16 grain. So I need 4. 4 is 8. I only have $2 to spend. I could buy a senator for $2. That is about the only $2 thing that I can do this turn. I'm going to do that. So that's going to cost me 1 of these. And this goes here. I get $3 back. What's this? Hand limit 3. Everybody has the same hand limit. Yeah. I'm allowed 3 actions in total. But here's the problem. I don't have much in the way that I can do in money. So that's one action. I did not grab my senator. $2 gets me the top senator, which gives me some possibilities. Okay, so that's one action. Second action, well, without money, there aren't too many options. I can move troops. I can't kill things or I screw up my grain balance, and I spent that money, so I actually can't go killing things. I do not have to use markers, but I think I'm going to drop one in there. A strength and a movement. That's kind of cool. I could put another one in there. What the hell? But then I've thrown a lot of my tokens into something that I don't know. So now with a strength of 3, I could go off and kill something, but that's going to cause me problems again with the grain production, and I don't know that I want to do that. Jeez. I really wish I had something that I could do that I wanted to do, but I can't afford the cash for just about anything. Oh, I could shift legions around. What does that do for me? They're kind of where I want them. These guys are going to get hosed. Assassination costs money. Everything costs money. And I really just don't feel like I can afford cash. You know what? I'm going to pass with the Emperor. That gets me a 3rd plot card, and I'm allowed to hold 3. Target one player each year at the start of phase 8. That player loses one of these. Well, that's a +3 strength card, so I think I'm going to hold on to that just because it could be useful. Okay. I'm kind of used to just before a player's turn in games, they get a random card instead of a bunch of random cards, and then each player has to react to it. Just a, sort of a personal expectation in games. So this guy wants to collect a lot of cash, and he wants to be rich, and he doesn't want to be poor. Okay. And he only has 1 plot card because he's not the Emperor. You can do an extra action during the turn this year. You don't use a thing on this. It cannot be copied or used on a face-up F because you'd be spending something. That's pretty cool. Do I want to do it? I don't know. All right. What do I want to bury here? Well, this, because I may want another monument. Did anybody get to copy his? Oh, everybody gets to copy this action. Hold on. Remember, without doing an action. So starting with him, he could spend $3. Seems like a good idea. And grab himself a senator. Because with free actions, you get to, and he could spend $4 and get a senator. How does he feel about that? Wow, he really doesn't want enemies. And he's got a plot card. Ooh, that's expensive. You know what? He's going to do it too. I'm not sure about spending the money on that. But the fact that these don't use, that copying an action doesn't use one of your stamina. Am I right? Am I right? Hold on. If I'm making a mistake there, I got a problem. Let's find copying. General rule, therefore it's after everything else. Other players can copy. You have to pay the stamina. Okay. I still think it's worth it for the extra actions. Get more motion going. Again, I don't really have a strategy here. I'm just kind of blundering into it. By the time this game ends, because it's only like 4 turns, I may start to get hints of, you know, how to play it. This is the problem with shorter Euro type games, is you just don't get into them deep enough in one playing to be able to even have a real idea of what's going on. Okay, so we're back to him, his first turn. He doesn't have a whole lot of money. He has $7. A monument would be great, but I want to be rich. I think in order to be rich, I will build an estate. That gets me $2 back. I spend a stamina over on this, and I will put that over on the production. Now, that's my first action. I have to kind of keep a count of actions. What that means is now everybody else gets to copy that. Now, at $3, hey, you know, it seems like a good idea in general. The only problem is we're worried about all these swords out here. But what the hell? Let's build an estate too. He doesn't have the cash reserves to do this. In terms of, he's got everything figured out so that his grain doesn't go down. So he doesn't really want to do it for that purpose. He also doesn't necessarily get, he'd be showing up with his build over here in the production chart, which means he doesn't necessarily get to actually build anything. Okay, second action for him. Green over here. We don't control the Senate, so we're not going to get to swap things. Well, we could start stabilizing Rome. That might make sense for us, especially since we want to collect money. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to take our second action to get +1 strength and +1 movement. That way we don't have to spend plot cards to do this. Now we get 3 movement points. First movement point to here. Second movement point to here, and we just killed 2 of these. And I spend 1 of these on the movement. Strength is 2, maximum 3 spaces. Oh, I actually have, I didn't need the extra movement point. I thought it was strength 2, movement 2 for some reason. Even though that doesn't sound right. Okay. So now, we get something for killing. We get something for killing. I know there's an advantage for killing. Yep. Rolled after a battle and provides the players determined by referencing the pips. So, yeah, but there's more than that. Jeez. The happiness marker moves 1 space to the right, and you throw glory dice equal to the number of enemies removed. I get 2 glory dice. Yeah, see, the glory dice could give us money. That's... Okay, so we got a pip back. We don't have any used pips. Let's see if we can take one off something else. If you have any in the used section, we do not, so this gets re-rolled. Yeah, we get money. Geez, we should have fought battles with the Emperor. Oh well, live and learn. So he gets $6. There aren't a lot of coins. And we'll just live with our mistakes, you know. We moved that forward. He has moved 1, 2, 3 into here. He kills another 2 pips, another 2 soldiers. Let's make room for the soldiers. That moves the happiness. And I roll 2 of these again. And I get 4 more bucks. Yep, the Emperor screwed up. No question about it. But that's okay. That's one of the reasons it's kind of cool to, you know, play something solo. Although I got to tell you, I still feel frustrated that I didn't catch that. But You know, the rules are not internalized for me at all. That's pretty damn obvious. So now I have done 3 things. Boom, boom, boom. And that's all I get to do. Now here I could do an extra action that doesn't use anything. That could get me some money. I could use my money to do something. Now, is there something I really, really want to do? I mean, I want to get more of these, but not terribly. So I think we hold. And we draw our plot card. Make 2 items swap places or place a free, and I think that's one of these. Now I could just do that, or I could do it just before movement or something like that. But right now, this is all I have available to me. Okay, I'm gonna need to pause soon, but let's get this last player out of the way. He wants to clear troops, and he's kind of like, that's cool. His plot card, he could grab, you know, a couple of those for free, but it uses up his stamina. Expensive there. Oh, I don't know if I did 3 of these because these markers don't really tell me. I copied. I did a move. Actually, let's get this back here. I don't know if I did 3. I think I only did 1. 2, I have 1 more. And I have a pile of money. Boy. I mean, I could move again. I came down here 1, 2, 3. I can move here 4. That's my extra move. And now I have more movement. Yeah, let's keep going into Asia Minor. Because we gained so much off of moving. So this is my 3rd action here. Unfortunately, the little discs don't really tell you. So this is 1, 2. I kill 2 more soldiers. I create more happiness. I'm making the Emperor happy. Now that was 2 movement. Let me, because I can kill this too. All right, I got a plot card, so I get this. I get 2 more bucks. Okay, we're working on that richest character. And 2 movement, 3, 4. I kill another. I make Rome happier. Now, I'm not getting any kind of glory or anything out of this, but I am getting these die rolls. So being this military master is great. That doesn't help me. I get 4 more bucks. I think money is sort of the important thing. Does this make sense? There was a certain amount of wealth you got from fighting battles and everything, but it wasn't the best way to make money. On the other hand, these get like $5 each. There may be, you know, some other cards that allow you, especially forum cards, that allow you to produce money, so you can be kind of a Crassus type character, I guess. Now I do have to swap batteries and run this guy. In kind of an interesting position. First of all, this guy wandered off and killed all the easy stuff to get. But I definitely want to kill troops, and killing the hard troops might not be such a terrible thing. Secondly, I need, I have an advantage. I have the rightmost senator, which means I can swap something in. So, question is, what do I want to swap in? I think I want to get one of these in. So I'm going to build another estate for 3 more bucks, making me richer, you know, in terms of production. I'm going to put one of these in here because it's just good. I really want that extra force. Even though I may not need it here, I get the extra movement point, which might be very important to me. And now I'm going to set off moving. Now, Sicily appears to be part of Rome. So I will just head down this way. 1. There's no 1 on this die. Shit, bumped things. Okay, I kill one of these. Happiness keeps going up. I'm making the Emperor very happy. And I get to roll a die. So this is third action here. The only question was whether or not I wanted to use my plot card. And I don't really, because I may need it to wipe those forces out. I get $3. The only thing is, if I collect up enough money, I can do cool stuff. So that was 1. 2 gets me into here. I kill another one. Keep rising to happiness. I get 4 more bucks. Wow, money comes easy. I could go up to here. Kind of leave this area in trouble. Or I could wipe this out. Basically, I have 2 more movement. I can wipe either of those big things out. And then I get nothing because I didn't do that first. My strength is 3. I can boost it up to a 5 by eating some of these early. But the alternate is I could play this for 3 more strength and get it up to a 6. I'm going to go kill the big pile. Use the rest of my movement. I'm going to use this plot card. And I wipe these out. Okay, I see a problem with these little things. That gets me more happiness. Happy Empire. And 4 dice of fun. Ooh, 11 bucks. And we feel awfully wealthy. That's going to move the die down, the space down to the place building space. And I'm going to take a little rest. So far I'm kind of enjoying this, the moving around on the map, the sort of deterministic or semi-deterministic combat system. It's deterministic, the player who's making the move knows what's happening, right? But there's some randomness in terms of what forces show up and everything. But it's giving a nice view to me. Basically, if a game doesn't have a map with geographical operations on it, I'm just not as happy about it. And so this gets me in a more pleasant space than a lot of Euros do. It's got, movement and combat and stuff like that. Not, it's nowhere near a war game. It's just, that visualization is really important to me. I forgot to mention I grabbed a plot card here. Okay, buildings are to be placed. First thing that happens is he's got the right to switch. He'll take that valuable monument out. Now remember, we don't know what other people's hidden agendas are. I might be interested in preventing him from getting money if I knew what his hidden agenda is, but that is truly hidden. I like hidden victory conditions. Now 4 of these get placed. Let's see what the restrictions are. I know they get placed in order. There's 1 per area. Monuments are not too important. Okay. So the question here is, what are safe places to put things? Now I believe the farm does not count as a building. It's not a building or an enemy. The farm I think is allowable. So putting my buildings where there are farms is of some value. My guy is here to protect this. I'm going to put my estate here. Then I get my Colosseum, which I put here, and that's going to get me +2 to assassination die rolls. Is that the greatest thing in the world? No, but I can't choose between these. I have to get the first one first. Okay. What does this little white T mean? Oh, hammer. Okay. Put you on the hammer chart. Green gets one of these. I he's got a kind of similar situation where he could put it somewhere that it's defensible. I'm over here. This might be more defensible than this. It's in a farm. It seems more important. I'm going to actually place mine there. And then white gets another one. And, oh, we're all allowed to have a building in Rome, I guess. And this is more tricky. This becomes, okay, where do I want to stick things? Lusitania here is rather safe because it's off in a corner. Only on a 1 is it likely that that's going to be used. Other options would be to put it with defended troops, but I like the idea of creating a power base where I want to kind of stick around and defend. Especially since I'm probably going to be heading down this way into North Africa. Okay. That is all the buildings. 4 of them built in 3 players, so this moves down. And now it's time to distribute the food. Okay. Well, here's where the emperor has a problem. All the enemies were cleared out. He should have been doing this himself. He would have made some cash off of it. So there's 2 areas that aren't needing to be fed. And that means I have 23 I have to feed. And I only have 12, so I need 11 more. I've got 8, I can buy 4 more grain. I moved the price down. I have 8, I can buy 4 more grain. So now I have bought 16 of that 23. I'm going to owe 16, 12, and 4, 16. And out of 23, I'm going to owe 7 grain. What does that mean? For each province that doesn't net gain, the happiness goes 1 to the left. Not optimal. I get a victory point. I would only die if it got down to the bottom, though. But I get 1 big victory point off of killing off the off of feeding the empire and keeping things. Okay. Now we collect taxes, and I really am going to have to swap the battery very shortly. Okay, everything without enemies generates money for the emperor. So the emperor is going to get 23 bucks. Hey, cool beans. Or some kind of beans, because I just passed some... Yeah, I thought I'd announce that in case you didn't hear it. I don't know what to do, you know. I mean, I fart up on camera. You can probably hear it. I'll blame it on the dog. Woof. There is no dog. Okay, and now it's $5 per estate. So the emperor has 1 estate. He gets $5. It's good to be the emperor. I'm really regretting not having played this more cleverly on that first turn, using the legion's power to get myself some more money so that I could buy more grain, etc. I feel like I wasted some of the advantage of emperor, and I'm really worried that the emperor is actually strongly advantageous. We'll see. Again, there's not a lot of play in only 4 turns. I feel like this could go like 10 turns or something. And I'm not sure there's a reason you couldn't expand it. So what's next? Green has 2, gets $10. And white has 3, he will be getting $15. Okay. It's the end of the year. We are not at the limit Yeah, the empire doesn't fall. It's doing fine. Everybody would discard down. The emperor gets victory points according to happiness. I jumped the gun on that. One famine is removed from each region. And the year marker will be going to the next year. But we got to take care of one of these. This one, the emperor moves unused stamina into the used section. Now, I believe this is also the point when the used stamina are moved down. I have to look that up because it's possible that some people who were able, well, it's too late to rewind that, but if you had gotten a stamina roll, you would get a stamina chip back if they were spent immediately. But they go at the end of your player turn. That's when they get swept in. Which is important because if somebody copies you, oh, did I forget copying here? Fuck. Nobody wanted to copy the one thing that they could, which was building this. Oh, move pawn is copied. Fuck, I didn't see that. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Those don't move. And this is gone, I guess. And we will, I think we'll load this one up. It's not a full hour, but I think we're going to be watching this game pretty closely as I make my mistakes and blunder through it.